All right, for those of you that are just joining us on YouTube, we are behind the scenes getting ready for the webinar that'll be just starting in a couple minutes here. So sit tight, hang with us. Make sure you throw some comments in the chat when you jump in. Let me know where you're from. I want to know where all my people are at. Maybe you stayed up late. Maybe you got up early. I want to know where you're at. So throw it in the chat. Yeah.
And it's made to stereo. Okay. Now they can definitely.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh, what's up? Hester Q. I don't know what that is.
Okay. All right,
Let
so
us know where you're from. We're behind the scenes getting ready to launch our speaker training for tonight. So if you're seeing this, just jump on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I want to see where all of my friends are at. And if you're not following yet, go ahead and give us a follow. We love to just hear from you. Of course, we always like to see, extra people coming in, but we're looking for the right people. We're looking for those that want to be public speakers, take their message to the world, and whose companies and messages are making the world a better place. That's what we're here to do. So we're going to be starting in just a second here. Sit tight with us. This will probably go for about an hour, wouldn't you say, Rich? We're going to probably do Q&A maybe at 10 till or quarter till, somewhere in there. But we're hoping to be done and let you get back to your families in about 60 minutes. Okay.
I am going to. Oh no, it's 4:59. I'm not gonna let people in yet.
Hey, Martel. Good to see you. So my clicker button, Richard, is not. It's probably not clicked on the right screen because it needs to be clicked on there to advance. Martel, drop in where you're from. Definitely want to hear from you. And Richard has done such an amazing job. We've got the Zoom chat and we're live on YouTube. So we got a couple of groups of people that are tuning in tonight. Okay, good.
So
Test. That works. Great.
That's working. Okay.
Beautiful. Oh,
Did
okay.
something break?
No, I thought the cable just got kicked, but we're good.
I've got a microphone too.
Oh,
You
great.
can talk if you need.
Okay,
5
wonderful.
o'clock, I'm gonna let people in.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hello, everyone who's logging in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to turn my camera on so y'all can see my face. Hey, welcome. If you're just jumping in on Zoom, I want you to go ahead and just throw your name in the chat. Make sure your name is showing up on the Zoom call as well. Now, this is for speakers, and speakers generally do very well when they have their cameras on because you want to be on stage as much as you possibly can. So jump in, tell us where you're from, what are you doing tonight, what are you up to, and maybe most of all, what do you hope to get out of our hour together? So jump in, say hi. Looks like we got Lance from Maryland. Welcome. It's late for you. It's about 7 o'clock. Okay, so when you get that, just jump on in the chat. Tonight, I want to just chat with you about how to make money through the power of stages. This is applicable no matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter if you're for-profit. It doesn't matter if you're nonprofit. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse. It doesn't matter if you're a photographer. It doesn't matter if you're a singer. Whatever your industry is, you become the main person in your industry, the industry name, if you will, by the power of stages. Now, let's jump right in. We got Liz from Utah. Hello, Evan. What's up, what's up, what's up? Okay, so let's go ahead and get right to it. First of all, first things first, I want you to type a yes in the chat if you're already appearing on stages. Just type a yes in the chat if you're already appearing on stages. What's up, Otis from NYC? Welcome. Okay, good. Now, if you're not appearing on stages quite yet, or you want to appear on more stages, go ahead and just type a 1 in the chat. Type a 1 in the chat if you're wanting to appear on more stages. Jehan from LA, welcome. Hope I'm saying your name right. Good. Okay, good. Then you're in the right place. Now, this is also to teach you how to learn to use those stages to make an income for your business. So let's get right to it. This is the blueprint we're going to be going over tonight. There's 4 basic steps when we really boil it down and get concise. This is how it's done. Number one, we've got to find stages. I'm going to tell you what the stages are, how to recognize them as stages, because maybe some of you don't even know that you're showing up on stage and there's missed opportunity because you don't understand that it's a stage and you don't know how to convert that stage. So we're going to go over that tonight. Number two, you've got to know how to speak on those stages and not just opening your mouth and saying words, although that already is overcoming one of the biggest fears in the world. But you've got to know how to tell a compelling story. Your story, not somebody else's story, with full authenticity. Stories sell, facts tell. We've got to tell your story in a very compelling way. And then we've got to convert those stages into customers, the right customers, because guess what? If your business doesn't have customers, it won't have revenue. And if you don't have revenue, then what do we have? We just have a really expensive hobby. And I don't want you to have just an expensive hobby. I want you to have a full-fledged business, which is why number 4 is revenue or conversions. Now, this sounds like a really weird term. If your sales process gets kind of janky, or if you have money limiting beliefs that are coming up, we want to get completely rid of that, because if your business is worthy, it deserves to be funded. And I want that for you. My mission and my goal is to find my next 100 millionaires. I want you to be on 1 million stages. These are actual numbers that I track, written down, and make $1 billion doing it. That's what I hope for you. Put a 2 in the chat if you want your slice of that pie. As big a pie as you want. A bit as big, like I want to know who my people are. If you want, yes. Okay, good. I see the 2s coming in the chat. Awesome. Okay, well, let's get right to it then. And I got more share in the chat. I can't see all of you, but this is how we're interacting. So, I mean, type a 2 in the chat, meaning the camera's working great, Richard. But what I'm saying is there are people on YouTube. We can't see each other's faces. So I'm going to ask you to interact a ton in the chat, because this is how we're going to communicate with each other. Okay, survey time. Type speak in the chat if you want to make money through speaking on stage. Yes. Good. You are my people. Good. Excellent. You're in the right room. Now, here's the thing. Most people hear that and they think, I want to get paid a speaker's fee to appear on stage. And they think that's the only way to get paid to speak on stage. Well, if that's what you're thinking, you're missing out on 60% of your revenue. Speakers' fees are great. I'm not going to poo-poo on that, because there's plenty of goodness to come from that. You show up, you speak for 45 minutes, you do your 1-hour keynote, you get a check from that, and then you hop off stage, and then you're done. That's awesome. And then you don't have any follow-up, you don't have any sales after that, you're just one and done. However, there are times when trading hours for dollars doesn't work. And like I mentioned, you're missing out on 60% of your revenue if that is the only way you're thinking that you can get paid to speak. And I'm going to explain that to you in just a minute. So if you want to get more money by speaking, this is the place to be. I do have some free gifts for you. It's at the end of tonight. You do have to stick around. We're going to be posting those in the chat. We'll just spam the chat with the links to the free stuff at the end. So stick around for those. I just want you to have these, because here's the thing. If you want to get on more stages, I've got a huge podcast database. Some of you might already have it, but if you're not checking it twice a week, then you're missing out on some potentially amazing stages. Let me show you what I've got. I've got the special live bonus. I've got the Own the Stage course preview. This is the Own the Stage course that goes through all of the steps of becoming a paid speaker. I've got my signature presentation ebook on how to craft the 10-step signature presentation. You're going to see a little bit of that tonight live. And then, of course, that podcast database, which is a living document. If you're excited about that, give me an exclamation point. If you want that, I got to know. This is not like, hey, give me an exclamation point because you think this is cool. If you really are going to use this, let me know. Throw an exclamation point in the chat, because I want you to be using your time and your resources for things that'll propel you forward. Yes. Okay. We got double red exclamation points there. You guys are freaking awesome. All right. So please, if you want to take a screenshot of this, feel free to. I want to just put a disclaimer out there that the system I'm going to show you tonight and the results shared, they're not typical. You and I both know this. People don't typically, the general public doesn't typically want to get on stage. It's the number one fear in the world. People run from it. But I got to also tell you, as you implement these systems, I can't guarantee your results, because I can't guarantee how you're going to show up. I can't guarantee that if I give you everything that you're going to use it. So I can't promise or forecast all of your results. What I can say is that when people take this seriously, they follow the steps, they troubleshoot, and they put into I call it willing to go through what's unpretty. When they're willing to go through the hard days, as entrepreneurs, we know we all have these. Some of us have them often, and some of us are working through them on almost what feels like a day-to-day basis. But here's the thing. When you are the kind of person that is willing to go through the hard days, you are willing to do what 98% of people are not, which puts you in the top 2%, which is why only 2% of businesses are successful in the first place. Because 98% of the people know what to do and they're just unwilling. So if you're willing to walk through what's unpretty, you should expect great things of yourself. So let's get right into it. Share one more time in the chat. What is the number one reason that you believe people avoid the stage? Why do they run from it? If I were to say, I want you to go live on social media 50 times in the next 2 weeks, what does that bring up for you? By the way, this is a real challenge. I had one of my students literally today just take this on. Why don't people get on stage? Maybe they have a compelling message and there's just this, okay, it's starting to come in the chat. Lance says fear of failure. Sometimes it's fear of success, which is a weird one. That's always tasted weird in my mouth. Like this fear of what if I do great and then it doesn't pan out or it doesn't sustain me and then I have a hard time again. Guys, that fear is a big, big deal. It's a crippling agent. It's one of the worst F words you can experience. So yeah, fear is a big one. What are some other ones coming in the chat? Richard, can you see those? By the way, my Richard is here with me today. He's amazing. I saw fear pop up, but the chat isn't highlighted on my screen. Looks like he's going to fix that for me. Thank you so much, my love. Derek says they're nerves. They get nerves of people watching. Yeah, that's definitely true. Oh, perfect. Now I can see that chat. Wonderful. Yeah, it's a very selfish thing when you think about it. If we have something powerful and we're not willing to take the stage, if we have a powerful story and we're not willing to take the stage because I don't know enough, or what if I mess up, or what if I pee my pants on stage? Yes, I have done that. Full on just owning it. It's all very me-centric, isn't it? What if I mess up? What if I don't know something? I, me. Guys, the stage is all about giving. It's all about serving your people. That's why I'm asking you to comment so much in the chat, because I'm not here for me. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you take your next step to get on stage. Elizabeth says, fear of being too real and getting canceled or backlash from haters. Oh, yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on. People are afraid of the way they look on video. Yeah, all these things, all these selfish things. But when we can finally get over ourselves and show up, think of all of the massive transformation. The reason that you got on stages to begin with is because you have something so potent and so powerful that it's exuding from you. It's pouring out of you. And the stage is the best place to make that available to the public. So here's who I'm looking for. These are the people, not this that I want to enroll in my programs, although yes, that is relevant to this too, but these are the people that I'm looking to have in my universe. These are the people that I want to surround myself with. I want to surround myself and be affiliated with people who are ready to put stage fright behind them, to get over themselves and show up, regardless of something flops or your tech fails or whatever it is. I'm looking for people who want to be seen on stage and deliver transformation. And if I could go back in time and readjust this slide, I would say without ego. Nobody wants that. We're done with ego. I'm looking for people who are ready to dedicate resources to their business. If you think you can build a business without putting time and money into it, you're just fooling yourself. I'm looking for people who are willing to follow the step-by-step process and go to what's next, not get analysis paralysis. I'm looking for people who know how to make fast decisions because eyes on me for a second. If you don't know your goals, then you won't be able to make decisions quickly. And if you can't make decisions quickly, then you're going to hem and haw and suffer from analysis paralysis and not get anywhere. Bad decisions are better than indecision. So I'm looking for people who can make decisions quickly. I'm looking for people who are willing to implement feedback. What did I do? How can I be better? If I show up and say, I already know it all, then you're fooling yourself and you've got way too much ego. Guys, I'm here to tell you, every entrepreneur from me to Alex Hormozi to Grant Cardone to Gary Vaynerchuk, we're all just figuring this out as we go. We're learning new stuff all the time. And my goal is to be the dumbest kid in the room. I love being the dumbest kid in the room. I love learning from other people because that's how I grow. Have we figured stuff out? Yes. And that is when we have permission to teach. But until I haven't reached this enlightenment, I don't know anyone who has, and anyone that says they had is missing out. I'm looking for people who are willing to participate. I'm looking for vulnerability. I'm looking for people who have a strong why, because your why is going to outdo your motivation every single day. Motivation will last maybe for an hour or two, a day or two, enough time to get you to the gym. But your why is what's going to keep you going when it sucks. Okay? I'm also looking for people who are willing to break through and do whatever it takes. I'm looking, in other words, for my top 2% of people. I want to show you a couple of examples of some incredible people. If you don't know these people yet, go find them on social media, go find them on Instagram. They're incredible people. People like Daphne, she's taking the stage and creating an event series for teens and their parents. She started off in the school system, and now she's taking it above and beyond that because she understands the huge impact that it has in people's lives. People call her Mama D. She's incredible. I'm looking for people like Christy. She's the one that took on the challenge today of doing 50 live videos in 2 weeks. Christy not only got on stage the year we started working together, but she started a whole event series, and she's closed 11 clients in the last 4 weeks. She told me today that she closes every single person that she has a one-on-one. She's a vocal coach. So anytime she does a one-on-one, they buy. She's got a 100% close rate, which is completely unheard of, right? That's incredible, but she's attracting the right people. I'm super, super stoked for her. I'm looking for people like Alton. Oh my gosh. I need everyone here to know Alton. Alton and his wife, Tasha, they started a YouTube channel called Shatter 55 because someone is lost to suicide every 55 seconds. And they are creating a program that helps people overcome that. Tasha is his wife. She's incredible. She was a finalist in one of our last events. She also started her own YouTube channel, and she's helping outcasts find a home. I'm going to get myself out of the way so you can see these people. I'm looking for people like Willie. He was invited to speak on a stage in front of 1,000 people within weeks of starting his speaking career because he put himself out there. This is one of the event programs that they put out. How cool would it be to see your face on a program like that, by the way? How cool is it going to be to see your face on the next lineup of speakers? Right? Yeah, throw in the chat. How stoked are you going to be to see your face next to the face of the person that you are admiring as a dream speaker? Maybe one of your, in fact, throw in the chat. I want to know, who would you want to share the stage with? Who's one of your dream keynotes that you would love to share the stage with? When I hopped up on stage with Tony Robbins, that was like a career pinnacle for me. That was a really cool moment, right? I've had the pleasure of sharing stages with several headliners and some people that you've never heard of, but whose stories are absolutely amazing. I felt honored to be in the room with them, right? I want to know who those people are for you. Okay, these are just some of the results. I hear about these because, and I literally mean on a daily basis. Okay, Laura says Tony Robbins and Jamie Kern-Lima. Very, very cool. Put that out there, Laura. Les Brown, yes. Viola Davis. Make these things real. I hope you put these on sticky notes on your wall so you work towards it. Mark Cole is another one. Okay, I'm going to share with you more results. I do hear these on a daily basis because I have a daily group and we meet every day. I get to hear about these things. Gary Vee would be awesome. I've been in the room with him. He's such a cool guy. This is why being on training tonight is crucial for your success in adding another zero to your revenue. Billie Eilish. Oh, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Okay, I do have an offer at the end of this. This workshop is designed to give you value tonight. And some of you are going to take the value tonight and run with it. Awesome. Some of you are going to be like, Marianne, I know I need to work with you. Awesome. I'm going to tell you what that is. All right. And for some of you, it's perfect. And it'll be the answer and the next step for you. For some of you, you're like, great, I get here. I got the training. I'm going to run with that. God bless you. Let's go. I'm looking for 5 people tonight because that's how many people I can onboard at a time. Richard is doing some incredible onboarding with your CRMs. Elon Musk, him and Alex, that's going to happen. I've put it out there that Gary Vee is going to show up on my doorstep one day. He's going to be here in studio with us one day. All right. So here's the other thing. There's going to be a cost to join. In fact, it shouldn't be $1,500. It's $1,000. We changed it on this webinar. I just didn't change this slide. This is for the Mastery Hive. I will be talking about that later tonight. But before we get there, I want to give you the training that you came here tonight to get. Throw it in the chat. What are you hoping to get out of our time together? I want to know. Throw it in the chat. What do you hope to get out of the next 40 minutes together? And by the way, we're going to have a live Q&A at the end. So when you have questions, don't wait. Throw them in the chat. Richard is going to be doing an amazing job of collecting and aggregating those to make sure we answer all of your questions before the end of the night. Any questions that you might have. Tips and tricks, Laura. Okay, give me the specific questions on tips and tricks. Resources to make money with speaking. Brilliant. A good blueprint for public speaking. Oh, Lance, we need to chat. Okay, looks like we've got some other chats. Michael Bolton, that's a new one too. Coach Stormy, Eric the Hip Hop Preacher, April Mason, Billy Asbrook. What's up, Angeline? Hello, hello. Okay, let's check into this. Now, the reason that I show you this is to just kind of give a proof of concept. Okay, Christopher's looking for speaking offers. How to be a great motivational speaker. Learn everything I can to make the biggest impact in reaching others. Thank you, Sexy Wendy. Okay, speaking, the reason I show you this is because, yes, I have a track record, but I also want you to have a track record. Screenshot this and start replacing these lines with your accolades. All right. Yes, I've been over 2,000 stages worldwide, over $54 million in revenue through the power of stages. That's both for me and the people that I have worked on their stages and closed sales for them. I've had over 3 million views on social media. I'm a podcast host. Yes, #1 best-selling author, 16 books and counting that I've written for myself and other people. And as I've told you, I'm on a mission to create 100 millionaires. I hope you know your goals and your accolades. Please keep track of those. Here's some other things that are important to me. And the reason I share these is because I want you to know who I am. I want you to get a feel for, do we like each other or not? Because if we do work together, we're going to be spending a lot of time in each other's universes. And that doesn't mean we always have to agree on everything. I'm okay if we don't. But I do want you to know what's important to me because these are the things that I focus on. Primarily, I'm a wife and a mom. I was late by a half an hour to an appointment today because wife duties came first. I might text you at some point and be like, hey, my family comes first. It's not often that I schedule myself in a way that those conflict, but I always will choose them first. Then I want to train with you. I want to get on a mission to find the best people on the planet and make them crazy wealthy. I love to travel. In fact, we're going to be launching some speaker retreats here, and I'm so stoked for that. If you like speaker retreats, just type it in the chat. I want to know if you want to become an international speaker. If you do, let's hang together. I want to know. I love being a speaker. I love being a donor. Those are all critical to me. Okay, it looks like we got more comments coming in. I want to learn how to close deals. Good. Learning how to stay on point. Good. Awesome. Learn what I need to help make a difference by getting on stage and helping those that really need it. You guys are freaking inspiring me. I've shared with you my goals already, but I want to know what your goals are. What are your values? What are the things that you value? Are you like me? Does family come first for you? Is success really important for you? Are the triple wins important to you where your customers get to win, you get to win, and your internal team gets to win too? Share with me in the chat what's important to you, because this is going to fuel your presentation. It's going to fuel your business. It's going to be the banners by which you hire. It'll be the banners by which you fire. It'll be the banners by which you accept some stages and not others. There are affiliations you will say no to if they don't match your goals, if they don't match who you are. Good. Family, learn to make income while speaking to quit my job. Oh, let's go. Legacy. What are the marks that you're leaving behind? Oh, I'm seeing some people love retreats too. Very, very good. Okay, let me show you this. I got this video from Jen. Some of you might know Jen Kitterman. She's running in my circles. She just closed her first paid client. It was so exciting. I know that first few $100 that you make on your own as an entrepreneur feels so much more than the $1,000 paycheck you get from your job. Ask me how I know. I sacrificed a multiple six-figure income to start my own business. And it has been so worth it because all of those dollars mean that I'm on the right track, making a difference. And when you start your own business and when you get your first paycheck and when you say, hey, this is working, when you take in that first check, that first PayPal, that first Stripe swipe, that from that lead that says, I believe that you can help me, just throw in the chat. What's the word that feels like when you say, this is proof of concept that now my job doesn't have to hold me hostage anymore? Because I got to tell you something. We need entrepreneurs. We need people whose dreams are so big and our dreams are even bigger that their dreams fit inside ours. That's something that Pace Morby said that I'll never forget. I have building an empire big enough that it fits other people's dreams. Some people get to work with me on my team and they're not entrepreneurs. And I love having those people on my team because I need people like that. But if you are an entrepreneur and you're working a W-2, that chafes. That doesn't work. There are some people that are entrepreneurs that are meant to be W-2 and that chafes too. I'm talking to my entrepreneurs. I'm talking to the people that want to get on stage. I'm talking to the people that want to get that first check. Oh, that purpose. Yes. Love to learn and make money with speaking gigs to get out there with no like and trust. Time to get the stories out there. Yes, it is, Rachel. Healing, Glenn says. Freedom. Yes. Jen just started in April of this year, and she's already had live stage bookings and paid clients. I could brag about these people all day. I got to tell you about Adrian too. If you don't know Adrian Hernandez, you got to get to know him. You might know him because he's been on the WealthCon stage with Ryan Pineda. He was invited to this stage to share his message on personal development in front of 1,200 people. I got to tell you about Kelly. She's been working with me for quite a while, and she actually started her own speaker training business. I love that for her. She's taking people on cruises and letting them be public speakers on the high seas. It's awesome. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Marianne, aren't you threatened that Kelly is a public speaker trainer just like you? Isn't she competition? Absolutely not. I don't believe in competition. So if you rise up and you want to become a speaker trainer too, even though that's what I do, go for it because the people need you and the people need me. There's enough to go around. There's just an abundance mindset. I got to tell you about my friend Layla. You might have heard of her. She's been on the news, just blasted all over news, especially in 2020. I'm working with her right now. She's about to go on the Turning Point stage this December. There's over 5,000 people in the audience, and she's going to share her message on empowering the health of families. This is an incredible message, and she's going to absolutely nail it. I want you to type a yes in the chat if you want results like these. Type a yes in the chat if you want results like these to get your first client or your next client, to speak on stage in front of hundreds or thousands of people. Yeah, okay, you guys are with me. Awesome. We've got some people from South Africa. Welcome. My aunt is from South Africa, and I am so excited that you're here. I'm sure you're staying up very late or getting up very early. All right, guys, get ready to jot down some notes. I see some questions coming in the chat. We're going to address those at the end. Keep them coming because I want to answer those. Richard, did you see those first two come in? Awesome. Very cool. All right. So this is what I wanted to show you first. I know that some of you aren't giving yourself enough credit for the stages that you have been on. So if you need to take a screenshot of this, do. There are 4 different kinds of stages. 1, your physical stages. These are retreats that you hold. These are live events that you put on. These are parties that you put on. And friends, I'm just going to give you a tip right here. You should be doing your own live stage, whether it's digital or physical, twice a month minimum. If you're not doing your own stages twice a month minimum, then you are missing out on not only practicing your keynote and really honing it in, but you're missing out on your audience. So don't forget to put that on your calendar. You should always have the next 2 dates on your calendar for where you're speaking at your own events. Now, you have your own digital. This is a webinar. This is a stage. Right? If you do a webinar or a live training, whatever you want to call it, that is a stage. Social media is also a stage. One of my friends, Aubrey Jones, has 3 million followers, and that is her stage. She's not delivering her keynote every time, but that is a stage she makes money from. She gets 5-figure brand deals consistently. You can also do live videos. And again, Christy's challenge that she's taking on, 50 live videos in 2 weeks. She's delivering her 2-minute version of her keynote. So then we have other people's stages. This is what most people think of. We have seminars, we have breakout events, we have VIP events, we have ceremonies like graduations. Those are great life stages for you to be on. We have other people's digital stages like masterminds. There's summits going on all the time. I'm going to be on 2 summits in the next week. I have podcasts. Oh my gosh, this is Podcast Database, guys. You've got to grab this. You've got to grab this podcast database. It is one of my favorite stages to be on because you don't have to have a signature keynote ready. You can just talk about your business in a really beautiful and genuine way. You can also do trainings. So those stages, that's the first one. I'm going to go back. Screenshot this if you need to. Get on as many stages as possible. In fact, throw it in the chat. How many stages do you want to be on before the end of the year? with this information in mind. How many stages do you want to be on before the end of the year? Okay. Yes, that podcast stage is baller. Carla says 4 before the end of the year. Couldn't get that out of my mouth for a second. Christopher says, which stage pays the most? I'm going to get to that. Absolutely. Thank you for asking. Throw those in the chat. All right. So this is your signature keynote presentation blueprint. There are lots of different blueprints for the signature keynote. I will say that there are common themes through all of them. If you understand and analyze other signature keynotes, you will find the same flow through all of them. I've broken it down into 10 steps. Number 1 is enrolling questions. Guys, we are all tired of the lecture. We are all exhausted by sitting and just listening to someone yap on. That's why you and I are interacting through the chat, right? Then you do your introduction. Please always say your name from stage, because I guarantee you will never be as famous as Cheese. What I mean by that is you will always need to say your name from stage so people can go look you up, and some people will follow you just like that because you said your name and now they're in your audience. Now, step 3 is we're going to tell our story. Guys, I just want to tell you a little bit about my story for a second. Way back before I had all these cool slides and all this stuff, I was on food stamps. I started this journey on food stamps. I was on stages on food stamps. I had WIC, I had the government heat assistance program, I had the food stamps, and I had a church welfare system that was feeding me and my 5 kids as a single mom. And I was still appearing on stages. I was on stages before that. I was on stages during my divorce. I was on stages in the middle of learning how to create financial freedom. I wasn't preaching about financial freedom on stages because I hadn't achieved it yet. But once I did, you better believe that that's what I talked about, how I went from food stamps to financial freedom. And I'll never forget the moment that I was kneeling next to my bed and I said, listen, God, I need you to put a box of $100,000 on my front doorstep so I can pay off all my debts. Or I need you to put someone in my path who can teach me how to monetize, who can teach me the game of money, because I haven't figured it out and I feel like I'm failing. And I would be lying if I said that I didn't check the front porch for like 3 or 4 days. And the box never turned up, which meant that I was going to have to meet someone. And less than a week after I hit my knees with that prayer, I met a mentor who taught me the power of stages, which is why I'm teaching you. I want you to have everything that I learned. I paid $25,000 and 5 years, and I've done everything I can to condense it all down into 1 hour for you. I want it to be faster. I want it to be easier. And if I'm not making it faster and easier for you, then what have I learned? I want to give you all the shortcuts that I possibly can. Oh, Jeff says he wants 50 stages before the end of the year. Elizabeth says 25. Now we're talking. I love it. So when you get to your story, now we're going to deliver the promise, which you probably noticed I just did that. I want to share with you what it cost me $25,000 to learn in the next hour. And all you have to invest is your hour to do it. Then I'm going to deliver my content. Boom, boom, boom. Content 1, 2, 3. Tonight I have 4 for you. Then we're going to do an exercise, especially if I'm on a live stage. I'm going to have you do something about it. And then I have a call to action. Now, this call to action is where you make your money on stage. I'm going to show you that in the next step. And then we end from the heart. We finish the hero's journey with this is where I am and this is where I'm going. And together, let's go together. All right, here we go. I want to show you about this offer, okay? This is your call to action. Your offer is the very thing that converts your audience into leads. What is the number one thing? Throw it in the chat. The number one thing that you need in your business. What is the number one thing? I want to know what you think it is. Number one thing you think you need in your business. Laura says, Soul Sister, that was 3.5 years ago with 5 kids and disabled. Now I'm doing a job I love with coaching and want to branch out to more stages. Laura, I'm giving you hugs, girl. Rachel says, I'm a single mom and want to understand. I was just in a girls' conference today about single moms and trying to help them get to where they need to be. I was really grateful for that welfare, but I was really grateful to get off of it too. JP, what? Is that JP? Like the JP, the winner from our contest? What's up, John? Oh, good to see you, man. He just won our Speak Off. Oh, an excellent speaker. You're going to love that. Okay, Jeff says you need leads. That's true. That's true. You do need leads. But if you don't sell those leads, you won't have revenue. And before you can get the leads, you have to have an audience. So watch this. Here's the breakdown. It is JP. What's up? I got to know when you're coming out because we got to get in the studio and do a podcast. All right. So here's the thing. First of all, we need an audience, right? Which is why all 4 of these stages give you an audience, whether it's digital or physical. Right now, you are part of an audience. Before you got here, you were part of an even bigger audience, probably on Facebook or maybe through my email messaging, right? Now, when you have your audience, you need to find the members of that audience that like you. And those people say yes to a thing in order to become a lead. They need to download your book. They need to jump on a webinar. They need to give you their email so you can build your email database. And here's why your email database is so important. TikTok will fail you if it hasn't already. Instagram, Meta, they will fail you if they haven't already. Zoom will crash from time to time. Something will break on the tech end, and you will lose your audience if you're relying just on follows on Instagram or just on follows on TikTok or just on follows on YouTube subscribers. Those followers mean nothing if you don't have an email database. That's what I would consider a lead. Someone that said yes to something that you have, and then you got their email in exchange for it. Okay? If those pool of leads then becomes customers, the people that say yes to your stuff and say, here's my money because I want what you have, those are your customers. Those customers are responsible for the revenue in your business. So if your business needs revenue, it's got to come from paying customers. Those paying customers come from your leads. Those leads come from your audience. That's what everyone calls a funnel, right? I don't like that word. It's become really weird, but no one likes to think of themselves in a funnel, but that's funnel shaped, right? Your smallest box is going to be the revenue and your largest box is going to be your audience. So yes, email lists. I cannot stress how important that is. Let's get back to it. I got to show you this. So these are the 16 books that I have written. I don't know if I have pictures of all of them here, but I've written them with my students. We sit down for an hour and a half and we write a book together. This one's mine. This one's mine. This one's mine. This is Christy's book right here. This is Renee's book. This is another one of the books that I've written for me. This one is from Ace. He wrote a book. This is Diana's book. This is Alex's book. This is Josia's book. I'm going to be on her summit soon. These are all books that I have helped my students write. And this is the thing that people say yes to. Now, it's got to feel like a natural next step. I get 150 new leads a week because of my podcast database. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be a resource like a database. It could be a calculator if you're in finance, some guide to help your family, whatever it might be, whatever your audience is asking for. It took me 3 or 4 tripwires to find the thing that says, yes, my audience wants this all the time. You have to have a thing and a way for your audience to get it where you collect their information, not only so you can deliver it, but now they can be part of your community. They can be part of your club. Now, we need to convert that into revenue. Raise your hand if you like revenue. Okay, put it in the chat. I want to see it. Put in the chat. And by the way, turn your cameras on. I want to see y'all's faces. Raise your hand if you like revenue, or just type a me in the chat if you like revenue. And if you like revenue that's not feeling like you're twisting your arm, raise your hand twice as high. If you have buyers, hey, there's Raja, beautiful. Yes. If you like revenue that doesn't feel like it's twisting your arm, if you like clients that don't ask for refunds, if you like clients that buy your stuff and then go through your program and then do amazing things so they get amazing testimonials and they say it was worth every penny and twice as much, raise your hand for that. Because we want those kinds of customers for you. You're just building something beautiful. Yes, let's get revenue. I see those hands raised. Derek. Yes. Angeline, I see you too. Yes. James has got his hand up. I see you. Beautiful. So this is the formula for revenue. First of all, you need to nurture your list just like a mom. Nurture your list, take care of your people, stay on brand, and provide value. I know that phrase provide value is kind of cliche, but if you're delivering things that feel valuable to your audience, you get so many thank yous. I posted on Threads yesterday, this podcast database, and I'm getting comments like, this is insanely valuable. Thank you. This answered a question for me. Thank you. Now I know I'm giving my audience something of value and they can take it and run with it. They don't have to buy from me, but oftentimes they do because it is so valuable. The money in your bank account is a direct measuring stick for how much value you're putting out in the universe. If you need more money, deliver things that are more valuable. Number 2, I'm going to email and text outreach to offer even more value, and usually on a Zoom call, a one-on-one. Some of us may have or will sit down on a one-on-one session. I'm going to analyze your speaker blueprint. I'm going to say, how many stages are you appearing on? Tell me what your message looks like. Most of all, tell me about this tripwire. Is it actually functioning? Is it working? Tell me about your CRM. Is that functioning? Is that working? Are you emailing people? Is that working? And if you want to have someone poke holes in your business that's not going to shame you for it, then we need to get on the phone and do a one-on-one. That's number 3, diagnose the pain and offer a natural solution. Number 4 is funding. You'd be shocked at the number of people that don't have a way to accept payment. If you don't have a way to accept payment, don't expect the cash to come to your bank account. And then number 5, you have to deliver what was promised. Show up, do your one-on-ones, deliver your book, deliver your course, deliver your mastermind, deliver your program, make sure it gets to them. All right, let's keep going here. Now, do I have permission to share how I'm helping people do this? Raise your hand if I have permission to share this. Okay, raise your hand if I have permission to share how I'm helping people do this. Okay, I see Raja's hand up. Very, very good. Let's do this. Okay, yes. Otis D, yes. Tyler, yes. Beautiful. Now, I want to share with you how I'm helping people do this. Type a me in the chat if you are one of the people that I get to help take more stages and make money doing it. I want to know if, and here's what I'm really asking. Are we going to see more of each other? Do you want to get on more stages? Are we waving the same flag? Are we putting off the same energy? Can we build and can we grow together? Do we get to hang out in each other's tribes? Do I get to celebrate you when you have your next stage wins? Are you going to come join my communities and share and brag about all the stages that you're getting on, the lives you're changing, the testimonials? Are you going to show up and participate? The biggest failure in life is the failure to show up, the failure to participate. Before I go any further, I'm going to tell you that the program I'm presenting tonight, I'm going to take myself off the camera here, is going to be a $1,000 investment. To be honest, if you can't make a $1,000 decision, again, there's a typo there, a $1,000 decision after an hour together, then I don't know if you're the right fit, because I need you to be a person that says, yes, I'm taking action on this. I know enough about my goals and I've asked enough questions and I know enough about Marianne to decide whether or not this is a good fit. I think that's fair. I want you to come learn from me. We and my clients, we've brought over $54 million in revenue. This is what our community is all about. And guys, I don't want you to get the idea that it's all money centric. It's not. Guys, if it was all money centric, I wouldn't have any clients, because people are smart. They know when there's connection and they know where there's not. And your people are smart too. They're going to smell a pitch fest from a mile away. Yes, you get to be paid to do what you do. Make no mistake. But your cause is worthy and you should be paid to do it. Drum roll, here it is. Okay, I'm going to tell you what it's not first. It's not $5,000 a month to join this thing. I do have high ticket offers. This is not one of them. It's not $4,000 a month. It's not $3,000 a month. It's $2,970 for annual access. But let me show you some more stuff. I did earlier today what Richard and I were talking about this. We are tonight only. This is not available in any other offer at all. We used to offer lifetime. We actually don't do that anymore. We offer annual. I said tonight I'm going to take an extra $2,000 off and offer an annual access pass to what I'm about to show you for $1,000. It's $997. Let me show you what's inside this. Tonight I covered 4 steps of how to make money. Now, if you took these 4 steps and you ran with it and you just went through all the bumps and bruises without a mentor by your side, you could get there. You will pay either a mentor or through mistakes to get to your goal. You'll get there either way, but the cost will either be hiring a mentor or making mistakes. This is what it looks like. Now, I'm going to briefly, just very quickly go over these because I want you to understand what is in the Mastery Hive. That's the program I'm talking about tonight. Number 1, we need to define your expertise. You got to know what you're talking about. Number 2 is we got to develop your keynote so your story is powerful. Number 3, we got to develop this tripwire that turns your audience into leads. Number 4, we got to get more stages digital and physical. Number 5, we need to sell the people that opt in, the right people. Number 6, we got to deliver what we promised. Number 7, we got to build out our value ladder. Some of you might be surprised that this is here, but we're only going to create things on our value ladder, our product lineup, if you will, that our people want. We're not going to make stuff that they don't want. That's a waste of time. Number 8, we have to scale this, which means we get on more stages. We maybe do another ebook. We increase our closing ratios, which leads me to number 9, which is introducing automation. We've just added this as a part of the Mastery Hive with CRMs and emails and all that crazy stuff. Number 10 is know your numbers. I want you to know your conversion rates. I want you to know your close rates. I want you to understand how many people that you show up in front of are actually going to buy. Because if you're not going to get paid to speak a speaker fee, it better be worth your while anyway. Then we're going to patch the holes through step 11. Whatever we're weakest at, we're going to get better at. And then we're going to circle back and start that process all over again. Now, here's the lineup. This is what's $997. We added a crap ton of stuff in here. The Mastery Hive, what we're doing is we're going to be giving you all prior recordings from the previous training. We are on currently in the Mastery Hive, we are on step number 3 right now in this cycle, okay? You get the prior recordings from everything we've done so far when you join so you can catch up at your own pace. Okay, my dog's going to come say hi. Hi, baby girl. Now, we're also going to be meeting every weekday night. I said that wrong. Not every weekday night. That's a lot. We're going to be meeting Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain. Don't take my dog away. I want my dog. We have our Introduction to Sales Mastery course. I ran a sales floor for a multi-million-dollar sales company. I'm going to teach you everything that I learned and everything that I taught my sales team. We have a booking team coming soon, you guys. This is baller. We're bringing on someone to help you get booked for paid speaking gigs. We also are going to give you our speaker media kit template. The signature presentation mini course on how to develop that signature presentation is coming soon. I'm going to be giving you my speaker ebook template. That little tripwire that I told you about, I'm going to give you a template for that. Also, we're doing this discount off the annual access tonight. There's 24/7 community access. We have a school community that is full of the coolest people. We have your Go High Level account. I'm going to get myself out of the way here because I want you to see this. Go High Level is a CRM. It is where you house all of your clients, their names, their phone numbers, their emails. It's where you send your texts and emails from. It's where you collect payment. It's where you host your websites. It's where you host the delivery. Richard, am I missing anything like super significant that Go High Level does? It does everything.
It can also do everything with your social media, with scheduling them out and posting.
Posting, absolutely.
You host your funnels and your websites, all of your coursework. You can do reputation management. You can look at all of your reporting with Facebook ads and Google ads.
It's ridiculous.
And so much more.
We can't even list it here. There's literally too much. In other words, if you're paying for Kajabi and ManyChat and HubSpot and all these things, you're going to have to fire all of them. You're going to have to fire all of them. This is the craziest value. Let me go back to the slides for you. We have an affiliate program, and we've got some people that are making money with that. Christy actually is already making money with our affiliate program because anyone that goes to our stuff that goes through her, she gets paid for that, which is really cool. We also include your spouse in everything. Many of you are like us, and you and your spouse are running your business together. I'm going to say, guys, you got to do this together. So this is how to get it. The link is on the screen. Richard also spammed both chats with it, looks like. Thank you, baby. And we've got all of this included. So here's the link to chat, or the link in the chat to join now. You can also screenshot this and click on this. I want to go to Q&A. Those links are in the chat. We might jump them up again so they're always on the screen for you. But let's go to Q&A. Richard, looks like I saw like a half a dozen questions come through. Why don't we kick off with that first one?
Yeah, so Christopher asked, what stages are available now for us to speak? And do you have any leads for us?
Great question. What stage? I'm going to hit that first part of it. What stages are available now? So before you go to bed tonight, you can go live. That's a stage. That's a stage where you can say, hey, this is me. This is what I do. I'm going to deliver a 2-minute version of my keynote, and these are the people I'm looking for. Or I have this free giveaway. If you go follow me on Threads, I have like something small, like 800 followers. You don't need a lot of followers on social media for this to work. I started off Threads with 42 followers, and when I posted my podcast database on there, I got 500 comments. I'm in the middle of another process right now. I just posted again, and we're at like something like 60 or 70 comments already, and that's about 30 new leads for me. So you can get on stage tonight. That podcast database that Richard's going to be posting in just a minute, all the goodies that we promised you, those are podcasts that you should spend 20 minutes a week applying to all of the shows that are relevant to you. So you can get on stage tonight before you go to bed if you go live, and then get that stage count, that dream stage count that you have before the end of the year. Fill it up with podcasts. Fill it up with appearances. That's amazing to get on. The second half of that question was what?
Do you have any leads for us now?
Do I have any leads for you now? No, I don't. I don't handle your leads. You do. You take care of your leads.
Well, I think he's asking leads on stages.
Oh, leads on stages? Okay. Let me answer both parts of what that question might be. Do I have stages that you can appear on? That podcast database has over 800. Yes. Go apply. Go get on them. Do I have leads like potential customers? No. You got to go on stage and get those for yourself. So yes, I have leads on stages, and I have leads on stages for the members of my community. I just met someone yesterday who has a summit coming up, and he's asking me to fill that summit. Guess where I'm going to fill that summit? With my speaker students, because I know that they can speak. I'm going to recommend all of my speaker students, any stages that I can't be on or aren't a good fit for me, but are a good fit for my people. That's the pool I pick from, is the people that I have trained and I know they can do well. Because my reputation is on the line if I'm going to recommend someone. Great question. What's the next one?
Another question, and this will probably answer this leads one too,
Good.
is going to be, can you tell us more about this booking service that's coming up? That it's going to talk about. You're going to talk about leads, I guess, at that point for stages, but more information about the booking service that's included.
Yes, absolutely. So we are including this in the Mastery Hive. Now, the Mastery Hive is going to go up in price later on. While we're looking for this, we're grandfathering you in at the old price. We are looking for, and we've vetted a few people, we're just looking for the right match for someone who will book you on stages, either as a stage fee. So you need to know your stage fee, whether it's $1,000, $5,000, $25,000, and that person gets paid a commission based on your stage fee. So they get paid once you get booked. They can also book you on stages where you're maybe doing a free engagement, but you're able to pitch something. So you get to actually bring in customers, and they get paid based on the customers that buy from that event. When we get that person lined up, it's their job to help you. Maybe you'll lean on them exclusively. You shouldn't, though. You should get on as many stages as you can to begin with. But you're going to use them to get you on stages on top of what I refer out for you. Great question.
Awesome. Okay. Lance asked, what is a good blueprint for public speaking?
Ooh, that was a great question. I'm going to go back to the slides for you on that. The blueprint for public speaking is this right here. This is flexible no matter the time that you're given on stage. I teach people in our public speaking, in our competitions, how to do this in 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes, you can deliver this version of a signature keynote. This also can last 3 hours. I was once on backstage at an event, and the keynote speaker literally came back to me, and they were like, "Hey, I'm really tired. You're up." And I had 30 seconds notice. 30 seconds, 31, I counted on the shot clock, right? 31 seconds notice, I jump up on stage, and I don't know how long I have because the main keynote went and took a nap. They were done. I ended up staying on that stage for 3 hours, and it was awesome because we connected with the audience, we created deep transformation, and I had a blueprint. I didn't have a signature keynote on slides to prepare. We just knew how to connect person to person, and that was an amazing experience. So this right here, this is your blueprint. Great question.
It's also in the ebook that's coming with the free gift at the end of Q&A.
Good call. Yes, that will be the ebook that you're getting tonight with your free gift. That's going to be in that ebook. That ebook is about 12 to 18 pages long, and it's going to have the full expanded version of how to create and craft that keynote.
Okay. Christopher also asked, what stages pay the most?
Ooh, that's a great question. So like I mentioned, your speaker fee is going to make up about 40% of your revenue. Everything else, even a free stage, sometimes a free stage can be way more lucrative than a paid stage. So I would say any stage where you can deliver your call to action, give that resource away, collect the emails, that if you're a great closer and it's a great product and you've got the right people, will pay way more than your speaker fee. For example, let me just give you this math. You guys should all know this math. Write down this formula if you don't know this math already. Number one, you need to know your show rate. So if I'm going to an event and they tell me there's 1,000 people registered, I'm going to say, well, okay, there's 1,000 people registered. How many butts are going to be in the seats? Live events show rates typically about 50%. So I get asked to speak at this event. There's going to be 1,000 registrations. That means I can expect about 500 people to be there. All right. Now I need to know my opt-in rate. So when I give my stuff away, I've got to know how good am I at giving that away? Is it the right audience? And how good am I at my call to action? I'm darn good at my call to action. I convert between 82 and 110% of the room, which means people in the room are sharing my stuff with other people. I love that. So if I have a 80% call to action, someone do the math for me real quick. What's 80% of 500? 80% of 500 is what?
400.
400. Yes, thank you. So if I convert 400 people, now all those 400 people are in my universe. Now, my closing ratio comes next. What's my closing ratio of those 400 people that opt in? Let's just say for the sake of easy numbers that it's a 20% closing ratio, which if I did my math correct, that's 80 people, right? So if 80 people buy from me, now the next question is how much is each person worth? How much do they spend with me over the lifetime of them being a client with me? So let's just say they spend $2,000 with me. What's 80 times 2,000? Right, Richard, do you know the math on that? Faster than me, 80 times 2,000?
Is it like
Someone throw in the chat.
1,400, something like that? Like 1,400 maybe.
I gotta know because I think it's more than that actually. So if 80 times 2,000 is $160,000. How many of you want to know your number so you know, should I take a $5,000 speaking fee or can I speak for you for free because I know my numbers and I know I can make $160,000? I would much, much rather do that. So when you get good at your conversions, sometimes those free stages pay a lot more. That's the long answer to your question. Next question.
Okay. Angeline said, what is the best email software to use?
Oh, well, I'm biased. I will say Go High Level. We love Go High Level because it tracks everything. But if you're not using Go High Level, you should know exactly what your open rate is, what your click-through rate is. So in terms of the best, a lot of your success through email is going to come from your software, but a lot of your success from your email is going to be how quality are my emails? Am I adding value? Are people buying when they open my emails? Am I too pitchy in my emails? So we love Go High Level because it tracks the bounce rate, which means when emails get rejected because of a bad address or what have you, it automatically does the DND. When people unsubscribe, it respects and honors that. It also tracks which links are clicked by who and what they did after they clicked that link, whether they bought or not. So we love Go High Level. We love that. And we include it in Mastery Hive for that reason. This is the first time, by the way, aside from our live event, that we have offered Go High Level as part of Mastery Hive. This on its own makes Mastery Hive worth the investment. By the way, if you're into entrepreneurship and you're writing off things on your taxes, this could be a write-off for you. So keep that in mind. Next question.
Okay, Christopher also asked, are we guaranteed leads?
So maybe this is Lead's question again. Like, am I guaranteed stages to get on?
Probably.
Or am I guaranteed leads to sell stuff? I like I said, I can't guarantee anything. I can tell you what I've got. I can give you the database. You got to go in and apply to those stages. So I can guarantee you that I'm going to give you the database of over 800 podcasts that need guests. And I can also guarantee that my first line of people that I'm going to come to when I have a stage that's perfect for you are my students. I will do that. But I also have to make sure that I can endorse your signature keynote. I have to make sure that when I put my name on it, it's still quality, which is why I'm training you. So I can promise to give you everything that I've got, but you have to do some of the work as well. You've got to be practicing your signature keynote. You've got to be applying to those podcast stages as well. And you've got to be ready when the time comes. Great question.
Okay. Angeline wants to know, do you recommend a speaker reel?
Yes, I do. I absolutely recommend a speaker reel, and I recommend 2 versions. Number 1 is your highlight reel. Should be about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. This is your sizzle reel. It's got clips of you on different stages. It's got maybe some testimonials built in there as well. I love, love, love having the sizzle reel, and you can have that pinned on your social media so that anyone that's checking you out can see that first. I also recommend having your entire signature keynote available on some platform like YouTube so that people that want to invite you because of your keynote can see your keynote beforehand. So I recommend having both, although you don't have to have those before you start. Absolutely don't have to have those before you start. And in fact, in the Mastery Hive, we will be hosting upgraded events where you can come and record those live in person. Great question.
Okay. I apologize if I'm saying this wrong, but Sir Ma'am says, how do we find stages on our own to speak and make money with our devices at home to find gigs?
This is such a good question. Your phone is one of the most powerful tools that you have. We all know this, right? So when you download that podcast database, you can keyword search the database based on your expertise. I'm going to give you some tips that I learned. Where's her book? I got to introduce you to a friend of mine. I just had her on my show. I was on her show as well. How to Make Every Podcast Want You. This is a great book that I highly recommend. It's by Kimberly Spencer. This book also recommends that when you're applying for shows, I'm going to tell you the breakdown. Guys, you want to know the breakdown of which kind of podcast you should be applying to get the most out of it? If yes, type yes in the chat. If you want me to tell you what percentage of podcasts should be your niche versus your specialty, type a yes in the chat. I want to know if you want to know. Okay, we meet every Wednesday for a year. Yes, we do. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. The first 20, there, yes, perfect. Okay, so 50% of your podcast should be targeted toward your ideal client. The podcast, in other words, that your ideal audience would listen to. 20% of your podcast should be with hosts that are also experts in your space. This will build everyone's credibility. The last 30% of the podcast that you appear on should be niche relevant. So for example, I teach public speaking for entrepreneurs, but I also love to ride horses and I've got a hobby farm. So 30% of the time, I'm going to be on podcasts relevant to that, or I'm going to be on a podcast relevant to being a single mom, or I'm going to be on a podcast relevant to something else. But the other 50% of the time is going to be directed to my target audience, the podcast that they listen to. 20% is with my cohorts in the arena, and 30% is toward my niche. Great question. So yes, that's going to be, I want you to just go on there. I cannot stress how important that is. Go on that podcast database, keyword search, and apply to those shows. The application links, by the way, are in the database. It's built in. Okay, let's, how many more questions do we have?
Okay, we got one more question.
Okay, perfect timing.
Rose Code asks, we meet every Wednesday for 1 year. Are there start and end dates?
Okay, great question. So yes, we meet every Wednesday. And you can buy the annual membership, and then you can renew at the end of the year if you want, right? So it's $1,000 for the year, or $997, and then a year from the day you sign up is when you'll want to renew again. So if you want to keep getting the training and keep growing and keep investing in yourself and keep investing in your business, then you would renew a year from the day you signed up. You should never stop investing in your business. If not with me, then do it with somebody else, because you have to invest in order for it to grow. Your plants don't grow without sunlight, food, and water. Your business won't grow if you don't invest in that either. Great question. And we answered that in the chat as well. Okay, I'm going to take myself off here again so you can grab a screenshot of this. There we go. Richard, if you wouldn't mind dropping that in the chat. And also, we need to give away our free gift. We ready to do that? Okay, we're going to drop the giveaway in the chat right now. This is the giveaway that has the podcast database in it. You're going to want to leverage this. It's a Google Doc. So this is going to automate access if you just follow that link through. You're also going to get my book on the 10 steps of the signature keynote. It's a very brief book. It's less than 20 pages. It's very, very simple to get through, but it's very compact and dense with information. And you're also going to get, what was the last thing we were giving away? I think it was the Intro to Sales, wasn't it?
Yes, the Intro to Sales course is included in the giveaway tonight.
Oh, brilliant. So we got thousands of dollars worth of giveaways for you. It's just yours for being here. You hung out with us. I want you to have that value, and I want you to run with it. Some of you are going to be starting the course with me. For those of you that start the course, here's what's going to happen. When you click on the link, now we got the giveaway link right there. It says giveaway at the end. But for those of you that go on the link, offers.mariannehickman.com/buy now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get an email confirming your purchase. Save that email, bring it to your accountant, use that receipt for whoever does your taxes. But you're also going to get an email that's going to share with you the link to the vault. The vault is where you're going to go create a login so you can watch the previous episodes, if you will, of the Mastery Hive. You're also going to get free access to our 24/7 community on School. I want you to go in there and say hi to everybody, connect with people, find podcasts to be on. There's a ton of podcast hosts in there. You're also going to get all of the goodies and resources, the media kit, the book kit, all of that comes with it. I want to know who my people are because here's my goal and here's my mission. I am raising 6 kids on this planet. You and I both know that there are light forces and there are dark forces trying to confuse us all. I want to make the people with good hearts crazy wealthy because you and I both know that we need more, not just light seekers, but light makers on this planet. And I need my kids' feeds to be inundated with people who know how to speak. I need influence, positive influence, to take over on this planet. We need the next Gary Vee. There is no competition in this space. There's only collaboration and growth. We need the next Tony Robbins. We need the next whatever speaker you look up to. You will become that speaker, and I'm here to help you do it. Friends, it's an honor to spend time together tonight. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in the Mastery Hive.